Pursuing your passion and pleasing your family draws a thin line, but success can be defined on your own terms. So, who has something they want to add about today's topic, maybe in connection to the image and what you see stated on there? Or maybe you just want to ask a question or share a brief story with us. I see a hand. Is that you, Rosella? Yep, go for it. You can unmute yourself.
Hi. So this resonates with me so much because this is what this is what my body of work is. And, you know, my parents are immigrants. So, you know, they had bought into the whole thing of achieving the American dream as the success. So I had done that, but then reached that height and was not feeling fulfilled or anything. So in terms of redefining what success was, it was self-exploration, learning who I was, learning what my loves were, learning what I was naturally gifted at doing, and making that like the center point, and then the finances around that. So my happiness and fulfillment first, connection and community, and then the finances around that.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Thank you. Can you, if you want, so this is something we often hear, right? The immigrant experience and what our immigrant parents want for us, right? Do you want to tell the audience what did they want for you out of a career or a job?
Sure. So when you had spoken earlier about like lawyer, doctor, engineer, like that's just
why is it always the same? It's like a blueprint, right? Everybody, doctor or a lawyer.
so those were the only terms I heard at home. And so I was supposed to do, I chose doctor, but then I veered and went off into therapy. But yeah, it was like that was supposed to make good on the sacrifices that they made. Like that was supposed to be the guarantee. But in actuality, that's just the whole premise of the states and like colonialism and all of that stuff. Like it's just to get more bodies in the system, you know, to be working. And so by what I personally have found is that by self-exploring and looking at my own gifts, like that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be creating. We're supposed to be passionate and connected with our passions, and to help others to do the same, so that we're actually living as opposed to just being bodies in the system and not having control in our lives.
Right. Thank you. So we have another hand that was just up, but also doctor, lawyer, and I forgot engineer, right? We're all supposed to become doctors, lawyers, or engineers. So please correct me if I'm not saying your name correctly. Is it Rumbi Zai?
Yep, you nailed it.
Thank you.
So I'm actually kind of in a name transition. For my whole life, I've gone by Rumbi, for short. I grew up in South Carolina. People butchered my name all the time, but I'm kind of at a point now, people can say it. And I think actually people have gotten a lot better at saying it just because we're all exposed to, more names. So what resonates with me about this idea is I'm kind of coming out of this place, I think like Rosella was saying, of this is what I should be doing. Now, I'm also a child of immigrants. My parents are from Zimbabwe. And they came here already highly educated. So it was just expected that you would go to college and perhaps get an advanced degree. Now, because I'm the baby in the family, the requests weren't as specific as like doctor, lawyer, right, et cetera. But there was still an expectation of, right, you're going to do something to support yourself. And so what I've been untangling for myself in the last couple of months is, what does supporting myself mean? What does success mean? And it actually has very little to do with what I was telling myself I should be doing, right, based on my parents. So my parents are perfectly happy that they don't have to pay my way. Like that is a success, right? In their mind, like would they have liked me to be a doctor? Yeah, maybe. But the fact that I don't have to come for them and that I can actually support them in some ways is a success. So a lot of it was in my own head as to the path that I thought I should take. So that's the first point. And the second point that I've been working on for myself is to be grateful for what they did instill in me, because it allows me to now do what I want, right? So the resourcefulness, the sense of independence, the ability to do things that you don't like to do, right? Because we're told that that's just what you got to do. Life sucks, you work and you die, is kind of the mentality. And if you're lucky, you get to do some fun stuff along the way, right? And now we are prioritizing the things that we really want to do because we could be dead tomorrow. But all of those tools that they gave me, or that they sometimes like compelled me to do, are things that I now get to do on my own terms later. So I'm trying to be grateful for that, that it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all, a bunch of things that I didn't want to do, but it gave me the ability to now kind of use those same tools in the way that I want to.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, wow. That's a really great shout. Can you, what were those values again? You said you learned from your parents.
I think resourcefulness, a sense of independence, and a grind, right? Like, you're not everything that you have to do, like, you don't have to like it, right? I think was what I was told as a child, right? We all do things that we don't like. We all have jobs sometimes that we don't enjoy. We all have crappy bosses, but you just have to muscle through it sometimes, and I resented that at the time, but now I'm like, but that allowed me to achieve some things, right? That other people might have given up on along the way.